Hey everyone, David C. Anderson here coming at you from the Knife Center. And with gift giving season right upon us, we've got some really good options this year from our exclusives collection that we'd like you to take a look at. So let's check them out. So this year has seen a lot of really cool new exclusives drop from our exclusives program here at the Knife Center. Really excited about all of these, and to kind of prep for gift giving season this year, we went ahead and ordered a bunch of some of our favorites. So we had a good amount of stock that we could show to you folks out there if you're looking for some gift ideas. And we're gonna start with something that for me, this brand is almost a go-to recommendation when I'm thinking of a knife gift. Whether it's something to gift another knife person, or if it's something to gift a not true knife person yet, if you're kind of looking to get them into the hobby, or just get them something quality that you know they'll use, and that's a Swiss Army knife. This year, we got a new exclusive black color to two of our favorite models. These come with Alox handle construction, so it's an aluminum material, a lot stronger than kind of the classic red plastic versions. And we've got the Farmer X, one of my personal favorites, and the Bantam, another one of my personal favorites, actually. I love both of these models. The Farmer X, of course, we'll start with that. Comes in about 60 bucks right now, so relatively affordable. And it's a great choice if the person you're buying for spends any kind of time outdoors, which we're gonna get to a few more options along those lines in a little bit as well. Great option for them. Reason being, you've got, of course, a main blade here, as you'd expect. You've also got some other great outdoor essentials like this awl right here. It can be used for scraping, punching holes in things, leather projects, that sort of thing. You've also got a very excellent wood saw with a crisp spine. Again, more scraping options available there. And you've got your cap lifter and your bottle opener, which you see on a lot of Swiss Army knives. And the X designation on this Farmer X also adds a nice pair of scissors, brings that to the party. You got a lot more precision there for certain small cutting jobs, and some good crafty applications day to day as well. Of course, it feels nice and solid in the hand, but if you need something or want something slimmer for the person you're gifting this knife to, whether it's you or someone else, the Bantam Alox is a fantastic slim carry. Two implements. You've got your standard blade, and you've got the combo tool on the other side, which combines flathead screwdriver, bottle opener, which also works as a can opener. They've kind of made this hybrid design work at both tasks, and you got a wire stripper notch there as well. And the price is very nice, about 27 bucks for this guy right here. Nice and stylish looking, very easy to carry, and very affordable too. All right, next up we've got a couple more expensive knives, but something a little fancier, kind of some gentleman's knife options this year if you're looking for just something that's a little extra special for the knife person in your life. And the first is these Luna slip joints from Real Steel. Non-locking, these are slip joints, as I said. Price on them are about 140 bucks. For that, you've got a Baalbach Damascus blade steel here, very stylish looking stuff. And the length is about 2 3/4 of an inch, so it's a very easy size to use day to day, and a very easy size to take just about anywhere. Handles, you've got natural or green canvas micarta. A little bit more on the rugged side of things for a quote-unquote gentleman's knife, but it blends really nicely with the fancier blade material. And then you've got a nice subtle deep carry pocket clip. Keeps it hidden when when it's not in use, and it looks very classy from the outside thanks to the real slim nature. And it's just a nice, easy shape for everyday carry. Slim enough, but you've got enough handle there where you can get 4 fingers on it. Very acute blade, slicey with that full flat grind, and very handsome to look at. Fun to play with as well. Got some nice fidgety action on that blade too. All right, next up, another Damascus bladed knife, and this guy got here literally just in time. It arrived the day we're filming this particular video. The latest kind of iteration of our Pakkawood exclusives from Spyderco. This Delica has a black Pakkawood handle and a VG10 Damascus blade. And the price on this is coming in about $210 right now. Now, whereas the materials here are straight up classy, the design of the Delica makes it a very good kind of workaday knife too. Again, a blade under 3 inches on this particular one. And the Pakkawood here is a really nice material if you like that kind of natural wood look, but you aren't so crazy about something that could maybe, shrink or swell, maybe crack over time. But the Pakkawood is a great choice because it's a stabilized wood product with, essentially sheets layered up of natural wood. So you get that look, you get the kind of warm feel and vibe of wood, but much more stable over time. The handle here definitely gives you a full-sized vibe going on. You've got a pocket clip that can work in 4 different positions, so you can carry it just about any way you want. The lock back is nice and secure as well. Easy to open one-handed, and another nice full flat grind, so you've got another great slicing profile here too. Now, if you're looking to really swing for the fences and get something that's just gonna be truly beautiful and impressive, no matter who gets it, the Viper Turn is a great option, and our exclusive right now coming in about $250, whereas these green Jungleware carbon fiber scales has a really, really cool look. Of course, the rest of the knife has a really, really cool look as well, kind of almost like a custom fixed blade type of vibe to the shape, but of course it is a folding knife, so it folds up quite easily. Deep carry pocket clip on this guy as well. Nice crowned surfaces on the back and on a little bit on the back of the spine here. Nice Italian-made touch right there. And it is a back lock, so you've got that type of security, but it's an easy knife to kind of flick open because it has ball bearings in the pivot here. Not a combination you see too often, and definitely something a little extra special. Blade itself is M390, about 3¼ inches long. Really cool clip point shape there. Titanium bolsters and line, actually integral liner and bolster made out of titanium here. Just all around something that is going to get nods of approval, even from some non-knife people, I would think. This is definitely something that creates quite an impression. All right, now we're gonna bring the price tag way, way back down. The next couple of knives, I talked about it when I was talking about that Farmer X up front. If you know someone who likes to head outdoors, likes to camp, likes to hike, that sort of thing, next two are some really good options. The first is a folder coming in at about $50, a KnifeCenter exclusive version of the Ontario Rat 1. Long-time classic knife for outdoors people on a budget. This version is the first to come with micarta handles from the factory, and we've paired that with a D2 blade, and you can get it either with this black coating, which will help keep corrosion at bay, make it a little more rust resistant since D2 is not a fully stainless steel, but you could also get it in a satin blade if you prefer that look. But I especially like this look, the natural micarta with the black blade, because it matches some of the Ontario Rat and Essie fixed blades that were designed by these same guys. So kind of cool family resemblance right there. Micarta, of course, is a great option for outdoors people or any kind of hard-working knife because it has a nice feel with this matte texture going on, but then if you're sweaty or it's wet, it actually has the characteristic of feeling a little bit tackier too, which is quite nice. Again, we've got a 4-position pocket clip here, but we have a right-hand biased lock, unlike those lockbacks, which are completely ambidextrous. But we've got full stainless steel liners on both of these knives, so you have a rock-solid foundation for another really slicey blade here with this drop point profile, full flat grind, 3.6 inches. Great for campers, hunters, outdoorsmen, or honestly anyone who just needs a hard-working knife with a full-sized handle. Now for a fixed blade option, we've got another real steel. This is the Bushcraft Plus, and this particular exclusive comes in about $90 right now. Blade length, 4.5 inches. Great all-around size, not too big, not too small. You've got 14C 28N steel, so it's nice and tough. It's stainless and very easy to take care of and easy to maintain the edge. Has a convex grind for durability, and it's got enough thickness there, especially when you combine with the toughness of this particular steel, makes this a very robust knife for heavier jobs, even some kind of survival stuff in a pinch if you might need it. Now the handles here definitely set this apart from other versions of the Bushcraft lineup from Real Steel. Golden ebony handles. Nice natural look. You've got a couple of screw-on points here with pass-throughs, so you can do some like lashing stuff with it, which is a popular survival technique, of course, and they're contoured excellently to feel very good in the hand. The sheath is well done too. Not finished with any kind of dye or anything like that. They left it with a natural finish, so it's either, you got two options. They can let it go naturally and kind of wear and patina as they use it, or if they wanted to dye it or you wanted to dye it a different color, very easy to do that with this particular model. All right, so I mentioned that Rat 1 is, in addition to being a good outdoor option, just another good hard working knife option. Got a couple other kind of hard workers here, and the first one is great for a tactical styled knife, and that is our new SIG K320 exclusives made by Hogue that were introduced earlier this year. Fantastic knife. Hogue is one of my personal favorites in the industry right now because their fit and finish is really good. Their factory edges are some of the sharpest out of the box I've ever felt. And the price on these, regular price about $119. So not too bad for a USA made knife. Now the blades here, S30V stainless steel, very high performance stuff with a stone washed finish, which looks great, wears great over time as well. And you can get it with a just standard drop point profile for a more general purpose blade, or lean into the tactical vibes with this particular Tonto profile right here with that 3.5-inch length, just enough to get some bigger stuff done without feeling like a burden in your pocket. The handles are synthetic. You've got some grippy sections here, a really cool iteration of a deep carry pocket clip, which you can reverse to either side, which is good since the lock itself is reversible, or is ambidextrous too. But I really like what they did. One of the downsides of a deep carry pocket clip is it can be a little bit harder to get to in a hurry, but they've added some kind of pressed up ridges on the clip itself, so you've got more traction and another pinch point when you go to draw that knife. It really helps, and it works quite well. And actually, talking about that lock, it is a ambidextrous crossbar lock, and this clip actually is a 4-position clip. Not a lot of this style of lock comes with a clip that can carry the knife tip down, but some folks, especially some older school folks, really appreciate that. The action is quite good. Got some nice fidget-friendly nature there thanks to that lock. You can flick it open, or you can do it more deliberately, of course. Thumb hole for slower one-hand opening. Enough length there for a full grip, and that finger choil up near the front so you can choke up and get even finer control. All around, great knife at a not too expensive price. Now, speaking of heavier use, if you've got someone who needs just a really solid, really hard-working folder, the cream of the crop from this year's exclusive slate of releases is the regular sized Sheepdog from Kizer. This guy comes in about 200 bucks, and in addition to having that nice broad cleaver shaped blade, which already looks like it can tackle really big jobs, we've got CPM 4V steel. Premium stuff and very tough. Despite having a very slicey friendly profile or geometry to the blade, you've got a material there that is very robust and very, very hardworking. Again, here we've got a nice stone washed finish, great for a working blade. We've also got a linen micarta handle. I already told you about how micarta can be really good when things get a little sweaty, and you've got another full grip for hanging on to this guy as well. Even the pocket clip is nice and robust. So if you're worried about kind of running into something and bending the clip as you move around a corner or something like that, something like this is going to have a much stronger durability day to day. And along with all of those kind of bona fides for the hard work, you've got a very friendly package for playing around with too. Feels absolutely satisfying when you flip that blade. All right, so we've gone over some kind of specific niches for the types of people you might be buying a knife for, but what if you just want a knife? You just need a basic pocket knife. Next options are where I would look. 4 new knives here this year from our continuing collaboration with ArtisanCutlery and CJRB, we're kind of sister companies right there. We've got some really nice options, and the first, if you're just looking for a pocket knife, check out the Ria. Really cool guy here. Sub 3-inch blade. This particular one is the most expensive one that we carry right now. It's just under $100, but this series starts around 30, all depending on the materials. This one really went for the moon with some of the cool stuff going on. So if this one's too expensive, don't fear too much. There are some more affordable options. But the reason this guy's so expensive compared to those other ones are premium materials. We've got S35 VN stainless steel right here. Very, very good stuff, especially for the price. You're gonna get a lot of edge retention and those nice stainless qualities to boot. Stonewashed finish here thematically works with the denim micarta handles. Really cool look. You don't see that too often on a lot of production knives these days. And we've also got a milled clip on this one in the gold coloration here. Kind of, again, leaning into that blue jean vibe here. And the cool thing about this series is you can go from a more kind of durable looking version like this to some, classier looking ones with like Pakkawood handles, which we already talked about earlier, carbon fibers and some other stuff, but the carbon fibers aren't KnifeCenter exclusives at this point, but we'll leave a link to the whole series down below. And it's just a solid everyday carry. Doesn't take up too much room in the pocket. You've got enough blade there to work with. Full flat grind is gonna slice really well. Thumb stud only action with a liner lock, but really satisfying action going on. The place they've put that particular thumb stud makes it very easy to pop that blade out every time. And it always puts a smile on my particular face. Now, a couple other exclusives here from these companies, and here's the good thing. If you're not too keen on the particular handle combination of the one I'm showing you, all of these are pretty much available with all these different handle color options, so make sure to check them out. The next one I wanted to show you is more of a full-sized everyday carry, and that's the Scoria. Price on this one is about $80. We've got a 3.5-inch blade with a pretty much perfect drop point shape. As far as the handles, we've got a Pakkawood material on this one, but again, there are some other options available, and it pulls off a pretty neat trick. The side profile is such that it's going to fill your hand pretty nicely, but they've kept it nice and slim, so it's going to be very easy to carry in your pocket. As you can see, folds up nice and easy. Inset liner lock, which is quite nice. We've got a milled pocket clip on this guy. The action on these guys are quite satisfying too. We've got thumb studs and a flipper. Both of them, when you combine it with the ball bearings and the pivot, make for really nice action. Blade steel here is pretty interesting too. It's RPM 9, which is a proprietary powder metallurgy stainless. So it's higher tech stuff, but they're able to keep the price a little further down. But I've been using a knife in this particular steel for a while. I've been very happy with the edge retention. They say it should be somewhere around D2 levels of edge retention, and I've seen no reason to think that's way out of line. Plus you get stainless qualities and you get easier to sharpen than D2 at the same time. Next, we've got a Ray Laconico design with the small Centauri. Large is also available, but the small comes in with a sub 3-inch blade. Really cool red and black linen micarta with a black coated blade on this particular one, which comes in at about 110. Blade here is S35 VN. We've talked about why that's quite a nice material. We've got that milled pocket clip to go along with it. We've got an inset liner lock, and this is definitely a slightly more enthusiast choice, I would say. And I say that because we've got a front flipper on this knife, which is definitely a little more unusual. Different style of opening going on, but definitely a nice touch on such a cool knife like this. Again, we've got more gentlemanly versions of this, or the more kind of aggressive ones like this red and black right here. We've got a really nice blade shape for utility, slices well, and pierces really well too, thanks to that modified Wharncliffe shape. All right, last but not least from Artisan this year, we've got a new version of the knife that started it all for our collaboration with these guys, and that is the non-locking small Archaeo, which is our exclusive pattern with them. This particular version is actually on closeout. This is about $70 right now, and the reason for that is we accidentally had it made with a different blade than we intended to have it made on, so we're passing them along to you guys. But that blade itself is RPM 9 stainless steel, which we just talked about, and the length is just under 3 inches. You've got that Wharncliffe shape here, which is going to make it a good utilitarian shape. But, with the sleekness of this, it's kind of gentlemanly, or at least office friendly in most cases. And that goes beyond just the profile. It actually has to do with the mechanism itself. But before I get to that, the handles on this particular version, as you can see, black and orange G10 with kind of a cross-cut configuration going on. In a way, it almost looks like wood from certain angles, but of course going to be much more stable and some more defined kind of delineations of color going on. But the reason I say this knife is a little bit friendlier is it's non-locking, but it's not an old school slip joint. It actually is flippable. So you can open it just like, some of these flippers here have that enjoyability and easy closing without a lock. Some instances you might not want to have a lock. You do, however, get some safety involved. You have that nice flipper tab here so that if the knife were to start closing while you're using it, your finger is going to be in the way, keep it from closing further. And you've also got a backup lock if you need it. This steel pin inserts right here and locks the blade into position. You can even do that while the knife is closed too, if you want that little extra peace of mind. So whether you're living in an area where the locking blade kind of puts you on the wrong side of the law, or if you just want the convenience of a flipper that allows you to keep doing that all day without fiddling with a lock, definitely something cool to check out right here. All right, the last entrance in the just needs a pocket knife category, we're going a little more premium. The first is from WE Knife Company, and this is their Kitefin flipper, coming in at $140 for this exclusive version. For that, 3¼ inch blade, S35 VN, excellent drop point shape. Nice thing about this particular one is they've minimized the belly a little bit and been able to give you a very needle-like tip. So very acute for your daily uses right there, but still a nice slicey, friendly profile going on. Now the front half of the knife comes in black and white G10 with a unique milling pattern to this particular model. Looks really good, gives you a little bit of extra traction as well. Backside, titanium frame lock with a deep carry clip and some gold accents that look really good. This is another nice and slim carrying knife in the pocket. Very easy to incorporate into daily life. Very fun to play with thanks to the ball bearing flipper. Very good performance from the lock and that steel. Got a nice hollow grind, very acute with a very thin, very sharp edge. So much to love about this particular knife. Now, if you'd rather have a premium pocket knife made in the USA, this particular option might be worth a look. Similar steel to that Kitefin, similar length too, 3¼ inches. We've got S45 VN here. It's their latest evolution, Crucible's latest evolution of this premium steel. Price on this particular knife, good bit more expensive than that WE. This comes in about $325 right now. Now you can get it with this stonewash finish or a black finish, and if you go with the black, things like the liners, the pocket clip, the hardware and such is going to go black as well, rather than satin or just standard stainless finish like these guys right here. But both of them come with an orange and black G10 carbon fiber composite going on. The orange is G10, the black here is actually layers of carbon fiber. Looks really cool. Got some contouring for comfort right there. Just a good size day-to-day here too. Not quite as slim, kind of walks the line between being easy to carry day-to-day, but still having a nice hand-filling grip. Now my hands are slightly larger than average. I can just get all 4 of my fingers on that handle, and it certainly feels nice and full. And the fit and finish here is also fantastic. Great American-made product right here. All right, that's all I've got to show you today. Hopefully this gives you some ideas to start looking and thinking about for the holiday season upcoming. Let me know your favorites down in the comments. Let me know what kind of exclusives you might like to see in the future as well. In the meantime, to get your hands on any of these guys, we will leave links in the description to take you over to KnifeCenter.com. Make sure you sign up for our Knife Rewards program, because the only thing better than giving one of these knives to someone else is earning some free money by doing so to spend on your next one. I'm David C. Anderson from the Knife Center, signing off. See you next time.